Project Vegan. So let's get baking. And Merry Christmas! Today I'm going to be making the base recipe for a gingerbread house and using some stencils that we bought or cookie cutters to cut out the houses, and then we'll assemble them at a later date and I'll be sure to film that, but for now we're just going to make the houses. So let's get started with the gingerbread recipe. Alrighty, so in a saucepan I've got a small to medium size one here, which I'm going to put on some scales. You're going to want to add 85 grams of butter to your saucepan. That's 60, 86, that'll do. To that you're also going to want to add half a cup of brown sugar, a third of a cup of golden syrup, look at it. Okay, and there it goes. You're also going to want to add 2 tablespoons of water. 1, 2. Now we put it over a medium heat till everything is dissolved, and you're going to want to bring it to a boil. If it begins to boil like mine has begun to do, you want to remove it from the heat and add in a teaspoon of baking soda. You gotta stir it in and then you just set it aside for an hour so that it cools down completely. So now we just set that aside for an hour and then we come back in an hour. Hey guys, I just want to take a second to say that my content over the New Year's and Christmas period isn't going to be as consistent as normal, and I'll show you why. So yeah, we're getting some construction done to our house, and the times I normally film, they're obviously working. So if I do decide to film on the weekend, there's people walking through, and it's just, yes, just an explanation. But let's get back to the baking. Okay, to this little bowl on the side here, I'm going to add 2 cups of plain flour. Also a 1/4 cup, and I'm also going to add a 1/4 cup of corn flour. Hopefully it should give the corn flour, the gingerbread houses a crisp edge instead of spreading in the oven. I'm going to attempt to very gently mix the corn flour through. I'm then going to add a cup and a 1/4 of this flour mixture I've just created into the cooled saucepan from before. So here is my saucepan, here is the flour, and that goes with the 1/4 cup also, and mixing it through with a wooden spoon. Once it's added, it'll look really gloopy and gingery, not gingery, but nice and brown like this. You then want to add in your spices. So I have 2 teaspoons of ginger and 1 teaspoon of mixed spice into the pot that goes. Mix that in. Then add the remaining flour to form a dough. Flour a work surface. Dip out the dough. And you're just going to knead that to a sticky dough forms. So here I have a slightly sticky dough, which I'm going to quarter. Individually wrap each piece and chuck it in the fridge to cool for an hour. So we'll come back when they're cooled and ready to roll and cut into shapes. Just for anyone wondering, this recipe is from the Super Food Ideas Christmas Made Easy magazine. Just somewhat towards the middle here. It's actually designed for a wreath, but we're using it for gingerbread cake, man, house decorating. Alrighty, so for the gingerbread men, you want to preheat your oven to 140 to 160, fan force, and I'm going to work with one portion of dough at a time, but I'm going to attempt to get one of each big sized piece out of each thing of dough, because I'm trying to make 2 houses, so it adds up. Anyway, here we go. I'll just show you one of them and it'll be the exact same for the rest. Oh yeah, on second thought, that is not going to work. I'm going to have to make another batch of dough, because it ain't going to work. Okay. I feel like this is a bit thin for gingerbread, but let's try it. Oh, no. Yeah, too thin. Okay. Try again. Ah, it did the same thing. Why? They're so crumbly. I don't feel like I'm asking too much of this dough. Fine. We'll reuse the scraps at the end. We'll see if I have any better luck with the second one. I'll update here. Okay, after on the second batch, I got the first one off no problem, and then I tried to re-roll it and it stuck so bad to the bench. But keep trying. Alright, so you've got a couple batches in the oven and a couple batches out of the oven. I will say that it's really important to let your gingerbread cool flat. Even if it's semi-cool, you want it to be completely cool, because while it's not quite fully cool, it's still really soft and brittle. These ones are completely cool. I can handle them, they won't bend, nothing like that. But they obviously can still break. Yeah, I'm going to store these in a container for decorating later on, but I have 2 end pieces which are completely full, which are like a sort of triangle, pentagon-like shape. Walls, which are slightly smaller than the roof pieces. And you need 2 roofs, 2 walls, and a front and a back. I'll show you one of the fronts, but they're not quite cool yet, so I'm going to show you how I personally transfer them. I have my cookie trays over here. I peel them off so that they're not sticking, carry them and lay them flat till they're completely cool, and then I can stack them like this. That's another wall. This here is one of the fronts. I'll let these cool completely and then we'll store them. But thank you so much for watching. I will end the video pretty much here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed and learnt how to make a gingerbread house at home. You can definitely cut those shapes with a knife. Just make sure they're semi-even. It will be helpful if you have a ruler. Yeah, that's all I have for you today. I hope that everybody can enjoy decorating their own gingerbread house, even if it is just a store-bought one. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. In the information cards, I will link a video recipe of some sort, and in the description will be the recipe I have used for this creation. So, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next baking video. Peace.